Good morning. Before I got started, I wanted to show you my cool dress. It's got moons on it. There's the moon phases, and here is all the moon phases. And I got my daughter a matching one, and I'll show that picture here. Because it's really cute, and she's at that age where she doesn't mind looking like her mommy. That's not gonna last long, right? You know, probably some of you. So I gotta relish the days. I also got us matching starry night dresses, which I will show here. Yeah, it's fun. Amazon has these dresses, and there's a whole line. There's Christmas dresses, and there were Halloween dresses, and and there's some like galaxy dresses and fun stuff like that. So we're having fun with a couple of them that are matching. That's the fun thing today. I'm doing a glaze fire in the kiln room. The kids are working hard on their coil vessels. I have a few that are turning out spectacular that I think I might actually enter in the Scholastic Art Awards contest, which is happening in December. Well, the deadline's in December. They announce the winners in January, and then the competition moves from regional within your state to state and then to national. And I actually had a student take one of her gold key winning portraits all the way to national last year, and then she actually won a congressional art competition with it as well. I'll see if I can find it and show it here. She won congressional art competition with it, and it is now hanging in DC at the White House, which is pretty cool. And she was invited to go to the White House, and she was invited to go up to New York. All right, so today I'm going to show you what's going on in the kiln room for a second, and then we're going to talk about this ceiling up here, because hey, you're probably wondering how'd that happen. All right, so we'll see you in a second. Here's a quick update on the empty bowls progress. These bowls are all still waiting to be glazed, but they have been bisque fired. So they've been in the kiln once. And then everything that was finished glazing yesterday is now in the kiln, and it candled overnight. What candling means is that it was on low, just that bottom section is on low. So just the coils around this bottom section are heating, and then this is not, which is helping to evaporate the moisture out of there. Because you don't really have to normally do that for a glaze firing, but I do have some greenware that was at the bottom. I'm trying to open this up without knocking those prop things. So this is what it looks like in there. It's getting hot. There is some greenware down at the bottom, some last minute projects that you saw. So those things needed to be candled so that the extra moisture was released. Also, see that little thing right there? That is called a pyrometer, and there that little bar that is holding the lever up, that's a fail-safe way to make sure this gets to the right temperature. So this thing is going to, let me show you how that works. So that is connected to this contraption right here. All right, so that lever that is resting on top of the bar inside is attached to this. When the bar melts, which is made of clay, a special kind of clay that melts at a certain temperature, when the bar melts, this thing lifts up, and then that releases this whole thing, which kicks the kiln off. It's like a fail-safe thing that kicks the kiln off. You can also use this timer over here that will make sure that the kiln turns off at a certain hour. So now I'm going to turn these on to low. It's going to go to low for another few hours. And then, so that bar inside looks like this. It is cone 05. There's 06, 07. There's also 6 and 7 without the 0 in front. Once it's bent, it looks like that. And here is a cool chart that helps you to see what the temperature is. So I'm firing to cone 05. You can get cones that melt at all of these temperatures. Cone 05 melts at 1888 degrees Fahrenheit. And the hottest would be cone 10, which goes all the way to 2345 degrees. And as you can see from this color chart, that is the color with which the kiln glows at. So when it's at its hottest temperature, I've got the peepholes closed, and if I open them, they would be glowing at that temperature, sort of like this. But the air actually glows inside. It's pretty cool. And so this is what a computerized kiln would look like. I actually prefer my old school way of doing things. And this is the actual cones versus the pyrometric bars, but you see how they sort of slump over, and then there would be a little window, like those peepholes would be where you could look in and hopefully spot that cone slumping, and you would know that the kiln was ready to turn off. So that's the dealio. We're gonna be firing, and tomorrow we'll have another kiln opening. Yay! All right, so we're gonna try not to look up my nose as we look at this ceiling. So first of all, this is an ongoing project, tradition, that was started by the teacher before me. And I have continued it. I've been at this school for 10 years, so most of these are my students at this point. When I first started here, a lot of these tiles were empty. And as I've been here, we have filled up maybe 5 or 6 per year. So the tradition goes like this. As they are graduating seniors that have made it to the 3rd level of art or the 4th level of art, they are allowed to paint a ceiling tile, and then I help them put it up there. So sorry about I'm trying to avoid the light, but yeah. So it is one of their final projects as they are graduates. Some of these are older, like Public Enemy's been there a while. And we've replaced a lot of the older ones, but then there are some that were just so spectacular that we've left. Like I like the Public Enemy one, so that has remained. These are mostly upside down. There are some that are my favorites, like, let's see. This one right here is pretty spectacular if you look at the details of it, right? And we have this elephant over here that is also pretty awesome. Love it. Also just one of my favorite students right there. So, okay, back to the tour. We're going this way. Okay. Maybe if I lower it. So this one, obviously done in 2s. That was here before I got here, but I couldn't remove it because that is Metallica's Black Album. And man, sorry, it's upside down. That is Metallica's Black Album. And I loved Metallica when I was in high school. And the date on that is 92. And that was when I was in high school. So I just feel connected to those ceiling tiles right there. That was the best album. So good memories with these students here. That lion, look at the lion. That one's spectacular. I don't want to say the student, well, I can say their first name. So that's Sarah did the lion, and Amber did the sugar skull, and I don't want to call out too many individually because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if they watch and I don't call them out. But there's a lot of really good memories up there. The Pink Floyd album, also prior to me, a lot, I guess that might have been an inspiration point for the prior teacher and his students, was do an album cover that you like. So Pink Floyd, I love Pink Floyd, so that one has stayed. But again, we have replaced a lot. This is one that is slightly disturbing, but also super awesome. This is Alex, a female student who is super talented and did sort of this surreal image. Those two tiles go together, as you can see. Yeah, and let's see. This is really hard to navigate without getting my face in it, without bumping into things, and also because this thing is backwards, because I've got it flipped backwards. Butterflies and such. This is always a favorite. Yeah, I realize now that everything's backwards. They fear our power and they fear our power and ability to create. That's woman's superpower. That one always hits the spot, right? Yeah, so there's some good stuff up there. I especially love Lupita Nyong'o and the student that made it. I miss her a lot, and this one is a graduate that just left, and I miss her a lot. And then I have one over here that I still need to hang up, and you saw there was an empty spot. So that's the deal. The stuff on the walls is a completely different project. You see, there's art all over the walls. I will talk about that another day. But yeah, the ceiling tiles is a really cool project that is a tradition and sort of a rite of passage for my students. Sorry. That I would highly encourage if you're looking for ideas for your classroom. We're about to move. Our school's under construction, and I'm going to get a new classroom with white walls and white ceiling tiles, and I've been told that I'm not going to be able to do this in the future, but we'll see. After a while, I think they'll decide that I can, because I couldn't imagine being in a white-walled, white-ceiling room without all this character. So we'll figure something out. Tomorrow we'll do the kiln opening, and I'll do another time lapse of me unloading it, and I'll show you the results. Okay? Have a great day. Love ya. Hey, like and subscribe if you haven't yet, 'cause you know what? Art teacher says what? Bye.